$90 billion. That's how much consumers spent in the state lotteries across the United States. That was in 2020. And not a penny of that money came from inside the state of Alabama. And that's why some Alabama lawmakers are looking like deja vu all over again to change that by introducing yet another lottery bill. And WDHN's Cody Giles found some folks in downtown Dothan who are all in with that idea. Cody?
Amanda, I walked up to at least 10 different people trying to find someone against this lottery bill, but it seems they were elusive, as the 10 or so people I did speak with were all for it, though only a few wanted to speak on camera.
Without a lottery in Alabama, potentially hundreds of millions of gambling dollars are leaving the state to go elsewhere.
It's a loss of revenue for the state of Alabama, a tremendous loss of revenue, especially for those in bordering counties like Houston and the other parts of the state that border.
Now, in advance of when the Alabama legislature convenes January 11th for the 2022 session, some lawmakers are talking about proposing bills not just for a lottery, but also for sports betting regulations and expanding casino gambling as well. A poll conducted in 2020 says around 71% of Alabamians are for the gambling bill, even if that isn't something they would partake in normally.
Personally, I don't like to gamble, but I think the option being available to the citizens isn't a terrible idea.
Yeah, I really don't have a problem with it. I personally don't gamble much. I'll occasionally buy a lottery ticket, but I don't make a special trip anywhere.
Governor Ivey had a study done to see about how much money Alabama was losing to the lotteries in surrounding states, and they estimated upwards of $500 to $700 million per year is being lost to other states that do have lotteries in place.
According to the Center Square, the Georgia Lottery collected $1.23 billion in 2020, a portion of this coming from Alabama spenders crossing the line, and that's money the state of Alabama is losing out on.
I've noticed that states like Florida and Georgia use their state lotto to help fund for in-state citizens to go to public universities, and I think that's a very good thing for the communities and for the states.
I think it needs to be passed 100% because all they do is raise taxes for more income. Why don't we get something that brings more money in?